Hello there. I just looked into the camera and I noticed that I have my old glasses on and suddenly I see clearer. So that's a lesson. We are here. There's many of us here. There will be even more of us in this video.
Hi everyone, welcome to All the Films We Judged Before. I'm Katie, that's Lily Kay, and with us we have friends of the podcast, Iain, Brian, and Thineth.
Hello there.
Yay!
We did it!
I did it. I can talk.
Yes.
I'm really
No
good at it.
So first and foremost, thank you everyone for accepting the invitation. Welcome.
Thank you for the invite.
Of course, and it's time to geek out. It's time to talk about one of my favorite topics every year is the best and the worst of this year, and I am very interested to hear what everyone is thinking about and what is ranking up and ranking down, I guess, in a way. So we're just gonna get right into it, and please don't be afraid to have a conversation and have maybe a good-hearted little discussion and fight. A little fight, just to make it interesting.
Okay.
I have a very tiny feeling that me and Iain are gonna butt heads at one point when we talk about TV shows.
I'm expecting it. Lily. We're all expecting it. I'm probably going to butt heads with more than one person on this podcast, I would imagine.
So let's get the bad out of the way, I would say. So let's start with movies and what was the worst this year for everyone. And we're going to talk and start with Thineth because I haven't talked to Thineth in so long and I want to hear his opinion. And I love your hair. I just have to put it out there.
Thank you. It's bed hair. I'm very tired, but I'm excited. Okay, worst movie of the year. So this one snuck in at the very end. So I saw this a couple weeks ago, and it is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Absolutely awful. It's so bad, you guys. And it's such a shame because I was, looking forward to it. I was like, okay, the first movie was okay, like it had its issues, but I was hoping that the sequel was going to be a lot better written, a little bit more exciting, and they flubbed it at every turn. The writing is atrocious. They wasted Matthew Lillard again, and it's also just a terrible adaptation of the video game source material. So, would not recommend.
Yeah, I second that. It was terrible. It was one of the worst films. It's not mine, but it's really bad. It's really bad. And I enjoyed the first one, enough anyway.
Did you? Because to be fair, I didn't like the first one at all. Like, I think I even skipped big parts of it because I was like so bored.
It was sort of fine. Like it wasn't amazing, but like the first one had its moments at least, in my opinion. Like it was never a horror. It was like a kid's horror, but that's where it was aimed at, wasn't it? Like that at the same time, because that's who likes Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's franchise horror.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Iain, what is your worst movie of the year, please?
I mean, it was a hard one. I've seen a lot of bad films this year, but I want to go with The Toxic Avenger. Oh, man, it's so bad. Like I know the whole point of The Toxic Avenger is it's a B, C, Z movie that is supposed to be as bad as it's supposed to be. But just because you execute a bad movie doesn't mean it's good, right? It's bad acting, there's bad special effects, it's bad story. It's just bad. And just because you knew it was gonna be bad doesn't mean that it's like higher art because of it. You know what I mean? That's my opinion anyway. Like Peter Dinklage is dog shit in this fucking film.
Whoa. Great.
No.
So funny because I seem to remember when it came out, there were a lot of people who were really happy with it. There was a lot of buzz around it. I mean, not a lot. It did die a death pretty quickly afterwards, but like I seem to remember the initial wave of people was like, you know what, I liked it.
I didn't watch any of the originals from like the 70s and 80s, so maybe people got a buzz out of it from having it be exactly the same film, I guess. But with the same special effects and budgets, probably. But nah, man, it's just not it. I was bored to tears.
Brian, what is your worst of the year?
I was lucky enough to not see any terrible movies, so I'm going to kind of cheat. I'm mixed between two. These are technically really good films. I just didn't like them. I'm going to go with Weapons, probably, actually.
Curious. Please say more.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't what in this. And so I first of all, I'm going to put it out there. This is the disclaimer. It's completely my fault because I had these expectations about what I thought it should be or what I wanted it to be. And we can spoil things here, right? Yeah.
I feel like maybe don't spoil too much because I would like to see it at some point.
You haven't seen it, right?
I haven't seen it, so don't go too. I know about the vibe change, but nothing too plot spoilery. If we could, that would be great.
What it ends up being was something that seemed really obvious from the marketing and also from the beginning of the film, and it was disappointing. Kind of took a lot of the wind out of my sails. And I'm someone who loved Barbarian, and was hoping a similar vibe like that. And it just felt like a less complicated movie in some ways. I was hoping for more, I don't know, like a surrealist Donnie Darko Annihilation type of vibes, if anything. And it wasn't that. So, yeah, I was great movie. Just, I didn't really like it. So acting was great. Filmmaking was great, So, yeah.
What wasn't the greatest movie that you've seen?
No. I mean, like objectively really well done. Just not something I'm ever going to watch again, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair enough.
I appreciate it, and it's not for me.
Yeah.
Kind of vibe.
I don't know. I watched it as well, but it kind of left me like, okay.
Yeah,
that's it.
Especially the ending, which we won't spoil. It's just like, oh, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. I had the same. This is it's a new setup, so I keep bumping into things. So forgive me.
No, Iain looked like he was going to say something. I want to hear what it was.
Go on.
I enjoyed it.
That's it.
I get what you're saying, because it is like a hard tonal shift that takes you for a loop.
Yeah.
But I sort of appreciated it. Like Barbarian does a similar, but maybe not as hard shift. So like he kind of won for that, but I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I found the enjoyment in that second half.
That's fair. No, I guess knowing what you're getting, I suppose, in the second half would make it easier. I guess if I acclimated like my mindset for that, I think I found Barbarian to be consistently darker and much more disturbing with the implications, because it is.
Yeah.
And I was hoping for there to be more of a groundedness, I suppose, that carried out. Even though Barbarians is heightened, obviously, there's still this realism that goes throughout, whereas I felt like that just kind of fell away with Weapons at a certain point. So
no, I totally get you. Yeah.
Fair enough. Katie, what is your worst of the year?
My worst of the year, and both Lily and Thineth have both had my rant about this already, was Wicked for Good. I hated it. I hated it so much. I saw it twice, and it made me angry both times I saw it.
Why did you see it a second time?
Because I went and saw it on my own, and then because I saw the first one with my best friend last year.
Yeah.
Kind of in a similar sort of style. We were like, what is she? I booked the ticket, and then she was like, do you want to go see the second one together? And I went, yeah, I'll see the second one again. I don't mind seeing it twice. I actually prefer to be able, like, I like seeing movies on my own. It helps me get a better sense of like what I feel about them. So I went, but I also am a big proponent for seeing things twice to get a sense of like, was I just in a bad mood, or is this movie bad? The movie's bad. The movie's really very bad. It's badly made. The editing is dog shit. Like, I can't express how badly edited this movie is. I constantly was watching action get cut off, so you couldn't see anything. There's a moment right at the beginning of the movie where, Glinda comes out onto her, like, power boat. They're doing, like, the opening number. She comes out, Fiyero comes over, and they kiss. The kiss is, like, in the widest shot imaginable, in the distance. You don't even see them do it. And I'm like, why did you pick this shot for that moment? That's insane. And the movie's full of stuff like that in this. I couldn't. I was kind of annoyed at it, generally speaking, and then and then I got to what is quite a big scene in the musical where they sing "As Long as You're Mine," and I was so irate at the way that they blocked this scene that I couldn't enjoy the rest of the movie. It's so bad. Like, and it annoys me on a level where I'm like, I'm aware that like a lot of people who aren't familiar with like filmmaking techniques and like and aren't like maybe paying attention to editing and like storytelling things and all this sort of stuff. But for me, as somebody who's studied that sort of stuff a lot, I'm like, all I can see is bad filmmaking, like bad direction, actors who are clearly not giving their best performance because they are not being given good direction for the scenes that they're acting in. And I just thought it was terrible. And every time I think about it, I get more and more pissed off. And I shall leave it there.
It's like a 7 out of 10 then, or
I don't, generally speaking, don't give under 3 stars on Letterboxd. I gave this a 1.5.
Right.
Oh. And that means they really, really didn't.
I did not like it.
Yeah, it's a very rare moment for Katie. I don't think I've ever heard you give this low of a score for anything.
The only other movie I've given a 1.5 on Letterboxd for is Mission Impossible 2. And that's because that movie also sucks.
That's true.
Lily, what is your worst of the year?
As Brian was talking, I was thinking, okay, should I go with my very controversial choice? But I think my controversial choice is really just me being very disappointed in something. And it's not actively a bad movie at the end of the day. It was just very disappointing in a level that it's hard to explain. So I'm just going to go with the actual very bad movie, and it's still going to be a surprise because we're talking about me, and I never thought I would say these words, but Jurassic World Rebirth was so fucking bad.
Oh shit! Go on.
I think I cried. Not because the movie was sad, but because it was so bad that I just couldn't hold it in. I was like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? This is one of my favorite franchises. Like, I even gave a pass to really not great entries to the whole story and whatnot. Yes, I'm watching everything they put out. I'm very much looking forward to the Jurassic Park survival game, and I'm just finished Jurassic World Evolution 3 park building game, so I'm very into it. I didn't even go to the cinema. That's where it starts.
Oh no!
The reviews came out, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I want to pay for this. And then I found out, and that made me decide that I'm not going to watch it in the cinema, that the T-Rex scene that I've been looking forward to ever since the first movie came out, because it's in the book and it's one of the best scenes in the entire book, was 5 minutes long, and that's all you get from the T-Rex. Then that's it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this. And I watched it at home. The first time I watched it, I fell asleep after 20 minutes.
Right.
Which is already a very bad sign.
Yeah.
Not a good sign.
Not
typically.
a good sign for sure.
It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. And then the second time I started to watch it, I was just sad. I was so disappointed. Like, I mean, they do everything that I hate about modern franchise continuations. Like they come up with these mutants. They come up with the we have to somehow make the dinosaurs more exciting. I don't know why, because dinosaurs are already very fucking exciting by themselves. And
no, Lily, they made an absolute point of saying that everybody is bored of dinosaurs. That was the whole premise. Everyone is bored of dinosaurs.
And I'm not.
No, but in the film, the whole of the population of the Earth is bored of dinosaurs.
I'm sorry. I probably sleep through that part. To
That
be
is
honest.
a crazy setup to have in a movie, to just blanket say, everybody on Earth is bored of the concept of dinosaurs.
It's just it was just bad, and the action scenes were bad. Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey couldn't save this mess at all. The dinos couldn't save it at all because they were badly in it, to be honest. That mutant thing was ridiculous. It was, I don't even know what they were thinking, and the way people survive things here, it was worse than in previous movies, which I didn't think was possible, but it is. It is possible. That this movie proved it. But again, because it made a shit ton of money, they're going to make another one now. That's now for certain. And both Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey are apparently coming back. I just really hope they're going to give them a better movie. But at this point, if this is the crew that works on it, I think we're doomed. I think this is where my love for the Jurassic franchise is going to end, because I don't think I can take one more of these movies where it's just, for fuck's sake, why can't people understand that dinosaurs are enough? Aliens are enough. Why is Predators is one of the only movies out there who understands that Predator is enough. We don't need anything else. We don't need them to be anything else. Like, for fuck's sake. So yeah, it's Jurassic World Rebirth, the worst movie of the year.
That's two movies that even Jonathan Bailey couldn't save.
Sorry, Jonathan.
Much loved Jonathan Bailey. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's just not working out for him. But he's it's
working out very well for him.
It's really working out for him. Yeah, he's fine. Jonathan Bailey's fine. There's no problem with.
I mean, in our books, he's not really working out currently. So yeah, that's it. That's my worst. That's my worst.
Hi, I'm Tom, friend of the channel. I cannot be there to join in the friends talking about TV and film festivities, so I've been asked to record my favourite and least favourite films and TV shows of the year. I shall start with TV, and granted, I have not watched a lot of it this year, but I think my favourite things I did watch that came out were 5-4 Season 3, absolute banger show. It's a bit ecchi, but it's fine, because the fights are really good, and fire is fire. And Apothecary Diaries Season 2, which is a banger show, is really great. Watch Apothecary Diaries. But my favourite show this year was undoubtedly Andor Season 2. Phenomenal show, loved every second of it. I've gushed about it for ages. And it made me care for Cyril Khan, who I hated in Season 1. So amazing show. On the flip side, in terms of my least favourite or the worst show this year, again, have not seen a lot. So by sort of process, just how it is, worst show, Daredevil Born Again, Season 1. I thought it was a bit shit. Didn't get the hype, there was a few cool scenes, but that's about it. Not that great. Yeah. So yeah, I'll probably piss someone off there. But regardless, so now we'll start with least favourite films of this year. I thought of 3, but then the third one of them is just a bit it's bad but fun, which is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Would never say it's a good film. Nowhere. However, I did like it. It was just stupid fun. It knew what it was. So that's not in there. But what is there is Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which is just complete and utter horseshit. I did not like it. It sucked. It took all the magic of the first 2 and just crushed it. It was not good. And also the main villain just had a really bad South African accent that just reminded me of that one Auntie Donna clip where they talk in bad South African accents. Put it somewhere here. Yeah, not good. But the worst film I have seen this year was a Minecraft movie. Fuck, that was shit. I don't know if it was a combination of bad film and then horrible cinema experience. Either way, terrible time. I regret giving it my money. It sucked. Only saving grace, the set design and some of the effects didn't look terrible. I don't think that's a fucking good thing though. yay, it doesn't look like shit. Good job. But it's enough of negativity. My top 3 films so far this year, granted, there are like 2 more that I want to see, but like they're like after, so like too late. At number 3, I have K-pop Demon Hunters. Love it. Watched it multiple times. The songs are like on my replays and raps and all that sort of shit. Banger. At number 2 is Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle, the first movie of the Infinity Castle trilogy, so I'll wrap up Demon Slayer. It had all the same problems I have with Demon Slayer, of just lots of flashbacks in the middle of fights. However, it's a banger. It's great. Yeah, and like the fight with Tanjiro and Akaza and Zenitsu and fighting Kaigaku is just great. If you love Demon Slayer, you'll love this. Would not recommend for newbies, but great. I thought it was going to be my favorite film because it just looked so good and was so much fun. But then, like a month later, Chainsaw Man the movie Rezayak came out, and that is, dare I say, the best animated film of this decade so far. I loved it. I already loved Chainsaw Man Season 1, and this film is just, it's phenomenal, for lack of a better word. Everything about it is just peak. It's brilliant. The homages to different aspects of film and film history, and just how it lets you sit with emotions. And it made me care for a character that was just introduced in the first 10 minutes, and by the end, I was so attached. And yeah, watch it. It's great. But yeah, there you go. That's me ranting and raving about what I watched and I liked and I hated this year.
I want to know what was the best movie for you in 2025.
I didn't watch a lot of movies this year, so that's a problem. I was going to make a joke and say Ballerina, but that's not. That was just fun. I think I was thinking about it this morning. I was between a couple of choices. I think, as it stands right now, I really, really enjoyed One Battle After Another. Yeah. It's probably my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film after Punch Drunk Love. It's also one I've only seen once. So I might be biased with, what's that thing recency bias when you first see it. But the acting, I thought the writing, the cinematography, it just felt like a classic kind of movie, which I feel like we don't really have a lot of anymore. And I really enjoyed that. And yeah, it was also very complete too. So I mean, I can go more into detail again. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but I really enjoyed it. It was difficult, obviously difficult themes, pretty intense. But again, just there was a lot of heart in the movie too, which was nice. So.
I hadn't seen a Paul Thomas Anderson movie before, and I watched this in the midst of all the films I saw during London Film Festival. So I was going off a streak of watching about 4 films in a row.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll go see One Battle After Another. Everybody's saying it's great. And then I went to the cinema on Sunday after I watched 2 movies on Saturday going, why did I decide to go watch a 3-hour movie now? My brain is fried.
Yeah.
But it is a spectacularly well-made movie.
Yeah.
I don't know that I loved it as much as everybody else did, but I can see objectively that it is fantastically made. And it is a lot of fun. But like, I don't know, I didn't find it quite as funny, I think, as a lot of people did. I could see that it was funny, but it wasn't like, and I do think it was partly because I was so like exhausted. If it had been like the first movie I'd seen in a while, I might have gotten way more out of it. But it's still a fantastic movie. I mean, the whole section in the middle, where he's just trying to plug his phone in, that is a spectacular sequence.
And really cool thing, you all might know this, but it was Benicio del Toro. He was the one who came up with that sequence, which I'm not going to spoil. He was filming something else, and he came back. He's like, I have this idea, because I think Paul Thomas Anderson didn't quite know what to do with that part, and they were kind of devising it. He's like, well, what if it's like this? And again, I'm not going to say what it is. What if we do something like this? And then they filmed that whole thing based off his idea. which I think I just love the collaborative effort of it all, and just it's very, very unique. I think
Benicio del Toro, absolutely the best part.
He's incredible in that. Yeah, he is.
Not surprised. Not surprised. All right, good choice, Katie. What is your best for 2025?
I went back and forth on this in a couple of places because I've seen some good movies this year, and there's been a couple of movies that aren't out in the UK yet that aren't. It would be a bit of a strange place to put them in. I'm going to put in a special shout out to Materialists because many people hated it, but I loved it. I think it's fucking fantastic, and everybody else can shut the fuck up.
Right.
But my actual pick for the best of the year, and this surprised me when I saw it, but I do think it's 28 years later. It just bowled me over when I saw it. I saw it on my birthday. I was really not in the mood for it I was like, I kind of have to because it's out on my birthday, and I feel like if I don't see it now and I don't kind of push myself to go see it, I might end up missing it. And that trailer was obviously fantastic. It's one of the best trailers that I've seen in recent memory. But I wasn't sure if I was in the right place to see a whole movie of that vibe. And I know that Lily found it a bit disappointing that the movie wasn't all in that vibe. But for me, the transition from that first half of the movie, which was very much that, into the second half, which, again, avoiding spoilers, is a very different vibe, but also hits on a lot of like thematic stuff and a lot of storytelling stuff that is very emotionally resonant for me. And I think they did it so beautifully. I wept so much. I just came out of the cinema going, it was so beautiful. And then obviously the last 5 minutes is one of the most batshit things I've ever seen. It's just insane, and I'm unreasonably excited for the Bone Temple in the new year. But yeah, I just it really surprised me in the way I just ended up enjoying it, because I was not expecting the latter half of that movie to be what it was, but I was so glad for what it turned out to be in the end.
Interesting. I mean, somehow I felt like you're going to pick 28 years later, but I had another thought in mind that you might pick another movie, but yeah.
But now I want to know what you thought I was going to pick.
I thought you were going to pick Sinners.
I liked Sinners a lot, but it was not my favorite of the year. I did, okay. I did like Sinners a lot. Sinners was going to be the one that you were going to pick as your most disappointed, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I knew it.
Really? Wow, that's shocking.
Lily didn't vibe with it.
Not at all. Not at all. I had
sounds
it.
Sounds like a you problem now, Jay.
I mean, it is.
Kind of. And you know what? That's fine. This is the thing. I think as long as, like, when it comes to this sort of thing, I think as long as you can admit, like, this very much just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Versus that thing of like, this is an objectively bad movie. That's my 2 cents that I've said about 1,000 times. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Let's hear Thineth. What is your best of 2025?
So not to copy Brian's homework, but it's one battle after another for me as well. Yeah, I really loved it. So I'll kind of highlight a different aspect of the film that I loved, which is, and I'll try not to spoil it, but it's the sort of finale on the road. That whole sequence, the only thing I can compare it to in the way that I felt and I kind of reacted to it was the sort of ending of Challenges, where I was just like fully fixated on the screen because I just did not know where it was going to go. I had no idea what was going to happen. And it was just exhilarating. I absolutely loved it. But like the rest of the film is just, yes, it's super entertaining. It flies by for me. I've only seen it once, but yeah, it's paced so well. And everything from like the time jump onwards, I think it's fantastic. It's so good. So yeah, highly recommend.
It definitely lives up to its name. I think that was my main thing that I came out of the cinema thinking. I was like, that was one battle after another, wasn't it? In the same way that, like, I finished Bad Times at the El Royale and went, those sure were some bad times at the El Royale.
I think when your title is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think you nailed it, by the way. Then it's like, I think this is the movie with the longest runtime that felt not the longest runtime for me. Like a 3 hour movie that didn't feel like a 3 hour movie. I was maybe it's like 10 minutes too long, but that's about it. And it was impeccably paced for a 3 hour movie, definitely.
I definitely felt like it was 3 hours when I was watching it, but that was, again, only because I'd seen a movie on Wednesday, a movie on Friday, 2 movies on Saturday, and then I went to see this. I was tired.
Yes, that's understandable. All right, so that's 2 for the DiCaprio movie. Let's see what Iain choose.
No, I'm fully aware that this is going to be, it's a me thing, right? Megan 2 is my favorite film of the year.
Whoa!
It is.
Holy shit!
Fucking fantastic.
Fight with Thineth.
No.
I'll fight with you.
I vibe with this. This because Megan 2 is so batshit.
It's so batshit crazy, but it is so great. You think about it, right? I know that it's got a lot of hate online, right? But it's a different genre of film. It is not a horror film as the first one. Just like Alien was a horror film and Aliens was an action horror film, right?
You just compare Alien.
Yes, I fucking did, Brian. And I'm not being facetious about it. Megan 2 is a fucking masterpiece. It does exactly what it needs to do. It is a romp. It's a Terminator 2 like. It is fucking amazing. I mean, I love Megan 2.0. It's great.
You mean Mithrigan?
Yes.
Yes, Mithrigan.
So what do you love about it?
It's a great action comedy film.
What's your definition of great, Iain?
Megan 2.0.
Right. All right. Well, we've circled back.
No, it's great.
I saw on the plane.
It's funny. It's got good action scenes. It's got a good term. It's the same story as Terminator 2.
Terminator 2.
So if you hate Megan 2.0, you hate Terminator 2. Just think about that, Brian.
I think it's a false equivalency, and it feels like gaslighting.
I can't believe you just said that you didn't like it.
First of all, I have no dog in this fight. I have no stakes in this. I did see Megan 2 on the plane coming back from the UK and promptly forgot about it immediately after getting off that flight. So it boggles my mind that anyone could rate it on any type of list aside from maybe worst or most forgettable film.
Honestly, if Megan 2 doesn't become a cult classic in the future, I'll eat a hat. It's that good.
Can I choose the hat and send it to you personally?
Absolutely not. I will choose a taco sombrero if I have to.
Right.
Okay.
God, I wasn't expecting so much pushback on that. That was really funny.
I think that warranted it. Sorry.
Don't apologize. I loved it.
That was fun. I liked it too. Yeah. Okay.
Lily, to get us back on track, what was your best movie of the year? We've done the worst. We're past that part. Best movie of the year.
Look, here's the thing, right? So here's the thing. I haven't seen Avatar yet. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I see it, it's probably going to be that one.
So this is caveated with the fact that she hasn't seen Avatar.
Yes. I'm watching it. I'm watching it this Thursday, so it's. I'm already very hyped. But yeah, at the time of this recording, I haven't seen Avatar: Fire and Ash, so I don't know how things are going. I hear my girl is going to become a proper racist, which I don't know how I feel about. I don't know if I like that, but I'm
what?
Okay.
What?
Yeah, Nightiri is going to become a full-on racist. Apparently, that's what Zoe said, and she's playing her, so I'm just going to believe her. I think the death of Nethiam is a bit heavy on Nightiri, which is understandable. It's apparently more about grief, but anyway, it's not Avatar because I haven't seen it, so I can't say it's that.
It's just all these caveats recently you've never seen.
I'm sorry.
That's funny.
And here's the second thing. There's another movie I really want to see, and I haven't seen it because unfortunately it's not out. It's no other choice. So I don't know.
I have seen it. It is good.
Yes, there you go. So I can't talk about these movies. So I had to think a lot about this choice because don't know if that's the best movie for me this year so far. To be fair, I've been quite like with everything a little bit. But if I have to pick one without saying two that I really want to see, I'm gonna pick Thunderbolts because
I forgot Thunderbolts came out this year. Can I retroactively?
Yes,
I really like Thunderbolts. Yeah, that's a great choice.
That movie brought back why I like Marvel so much.
Yeah,
it was so beautifully done, and especially the mental health part of it all was so delicately handled. I was bawling at the end. I was like, this, first of all, it hit way too close to home, unfortunately. And if you're someone who's struggling with your mental health, please reach out. There are a lot of great services who can help you, or just reach out to friends, family. And second of all, it was beautifully done, like the whole build up and everything. And I am one of those people who don't really like when movies are confined into like one or two places. And this was pretty much like
my favorite, actually.
Yeah, that's Katie's favorite. I don't really vibe with those, but yeah, this just worked on every level. I think the casting for everyone was absolutely flawless. Like everyone just brought their A game. I really like Louis Pullman in the role, and don't laugh, but yes, I only realized like 2 months later that Louis Pullman is the son of Bill Pullman. I did not make that connection.
To be fair, I don't know that I would have either, unless I already knew that. But I also don't think about Bill Pullman that much to have considered that as like an option.
They had the same name, Katie. Yeah. You know,
lots of people have the same name.
I couldn't I didn't register that, and he looks so much like his dad. So I'm like, of course he is. Well, of course. But yeah, Thunderbolts, it really hit home, and I'm at that moment while I was watching that, I really felt like that we're getting back what I loved about Marvel a lot always. So yeah, if I have to pick one, it's going to be Thunderbolts. Yes, Brian.
I'm going to come over to your side, and I think I'm going to retroactively re-choose that. I agree. It's the only movie I saw this year that I haven't seen Hamnet or anything. I've heard that's wonderful. I really want to see that. And going off of what Lily said, I'm sure once I see that, that'll be my favorite film. But I forgot that I thought Thunderbolts came out in 2024. Just it's been a weird year. I would say that's probably the movie that moved me the most, and also reminded me why I liked superhero films, and it just had a lot of heart and charm in it. So yeah,
so much charm.
I watched it at home, and I saw it after like everybody had been talking about it so much, so I think it kind of undercut my enjoyment a little bit of it. I think I ended up going in a little bit more critical just because everybody had been so like talking it up so much. I did like it a lot. I thought the ending was fantastic. I do think that the beginning is a little like the first half an hour, I think it just takes a little bit too long to get going, personally. But that's just like a, framing thing. I found myself enjoying Fantastic Four a little bit more personally. I really liked Fantastic Four, but just like a bit. Both these films, though, were very, very good, and like much more of a return to form in terms of Marvel and actually making interesting movies that have like a point of view. That's, I mean, there is also a pacing issue in Fantastic Four as well, don't get me wrong, but like, I liked a lot of what Fantastic Four was doing. I think just for my personal, I also went with that in without really any real expectations in comparison to Thunderbolts, which all of these things affect,
Hello to all the films we judged before. My name is Elliot, and I'm going to tell you my favourite, my best and worst. I'm going to say favourite, least favourite films of 2025. I'm going to start with my least favourite, and it was The Woman in the Yard, a horror film starring Daniel Deadwyler. I think the premise for this film was fantastic. You've got a family of three, mum, 2 kids, and the husband has died, and the mum is going through some insane depression because of it, and grief and loss. And that sparks this spirit coming to the house to then haunt her and her children. That was great. I think the film just got into the horror way too early. It was about 10 minutes into the film and we're already into the horror. We've not really had enough time to sit with these characters and learn who they are and why they're going through they're going before the horror kicks in. So it just kind of came in a bit quick and then lost itself in it a little bit, to the point of when things happened, it was a bit, I'm not really sure I'm with you right now. And unfortunately, it just didn't quite get the payoff that I think the premise set up. My then favourite film of the year is probably going to shock a few people, because if you know me, if you know some of the work I've done previously on YouTube under my channel Hakuna Matata, you'd probably think Sinners is going to land at number one. Well, Sinners lands at number two, my second favourite film of the year so far. Landing in at number one, and this is going to really shock you, was Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. And I know what you're going to say. Is it the best Mission Impossible film? No. Is it the best film of this year? Probably not. Is it my favourite? Hell yeah, it was. Now look, the first act of the film, the first 45 minutes of the film, very choppy, very all over the place. It's kind of trying to play a lot of catch up from the film previous, right? Even though it was originally scheduled as a two-parter. But I think from then onwards, after the major death that happens, and I won't say just in case people haven't watched it, I think then the film really settles into its own. And I love the build up to the fight scene in the North Pole. The submarine scene obviously is fantastic. And then the massive plane stunt at the end is just an absolute winner. I think it eventually gets into itself and hits everything you would expect from a final Mission Impossible film, to the point of, even though you know it's the end, it leaves you wanting more. And it left me wanting more. Like, I'm happy to see the story finish and for Ethan Hunt's story to finish, but I also want more Ethan Hunt. It's kind of surreal. I really enjoyed it. I came out after my first watch. I watched it twice. Came out after my first watch, adrenaline running. Like, I could feel my body just shaking still after having watched it. So it was an easy number one for me. It's been a fun year for film. I'm looking forward. I still got Avatar: Fire and Ash to go. That was near the top of my list for must-sees this year. And then we're into 2026 and return of the comic book film, I think, by the sounds of it, with Spider-Man and Avengers Doomsday and more from DC Studios as well. So very exciting. If you do want to catch me anywhere, best places to catch me currently online are on my acting page. That's _ElliotAB. You'll find me both on Instagram and on TikTok. And then also my cosplay page, which is Elliott Cosplays. You'll find me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Come and have fun little cosplay comedy sketches. Mainly this guy, Miles Morales, and Sam Wilson, Captain America, are my big cosplays. Hopefully see you there. Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy New Year.
All right, so we did the worst and best for movies. It's time to pivot over to TV shows. And I'm going to turn the formula around, and we're going to start with the best, because I feel like it might have not.
So we're ending on a low.
Yes,
Okay.
because I want to have a fight with Iain.
I'm chill, man. I'm not going to fight. You're entitled to your point of view.
I appreciate that.
Okay, I like that, but it's not going to go that easy. Yeah.
Wow.
There's going to be we'll be able to point you in a direction to see more of this fight.
Is it Megan 2 again? Just you watch
it's just Megan 2
every day.
It's constant Megan 2. You'll see, Brian.
You'll see. Right. We're going to start with the best. So let's start with Iain now. What was your best for 2025 on TV shows, please?
It just seems like a cop-out, but you got to go Andor, right? It's just
honestly fair.
It just seems like I was thinking of like nice other like TV shows, and I realized that I've not watched a lot of great TV shows this year. I've seen some good ones, seen some really bad ones, seen some okay ones, but Andor is just another level of cinematic goodness. Like the whole point in you know what? And I've totally forgotten the planet's name, but the singing, the whole riot, and it was just so well done from like the start to the end. Stellan Skarsgård, brilliant. It was chef's kiss. I can't really say much more than it's Andor. Like Andor is the best thing this year.
208, which I think is Who Are You, and 209, which is Welcome to Rebellion, are some of the best TV out there, generally speaking. It's phenomenal pieces of television. It directly upset me that they decided to release all of these episodes in 3-episode chunks. I think the wait between episode 8 and episode 9 would have been so delicious and like well thought. You know, it would have been the same as like the end of episode, the Narkina 5 episode, where you get, you know, no more than 5 or no more than 6. I can't remember what the number is. That from the previous season. I think that would have been perfect, but it just good TV. That was good TV. You're absolutely right.
This is the point where I will admit that I still haven't watched the second season.
What?
Holy fucking shit, Lily.
Bloody hell.
She'll get to
it. I don't have Disney Plus anymore. That's one thing. And the other is that it just kept slipping through my mind. I was
just kept slapping her in the face.
Just kept slapping me in the face. So I unfortunately, I still haven't seen it. I didn't see any spoilers, so I'm pretty proud about that. Right. But I will watch it. I will watch it. I love the first season, so I will watch it. Iain, I will watch it. I see you.
We were at Star Wars Celebration when it came out.
I know. No.
I gotta give. Sorry, no, you keep going.
No. Just to be fair, I didn't get to see the first episode, so you know.
So obviously, the entire season is a watch.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Stellan Skarsgård, because I recently, he did a Axis and Axis like very recently with his son Alexander, and he was, I believe, in it talking about the fact that because he'd had a stroke, so they had to feed him the lines, and you can't tell. I know he said that he's really struggled with doing it because that's not, you know, he doesn't want to be that, and he had trouble finding the rhythm of it all, but like he's fucking fantastic in it, as you expect him to be.
He's Stellan Skarsgård. So
he is Stellan Skarsgård.
He's pretty brilliant, to be honest. All right. Andor. That's one for Andor. I have a feeling, but that might be a second one for Andor. But I don't want to yell it into the void. So I'm just going to go over for Thineth for the best TV show of 2025.
So, to no one's surprise, it's The Pit, because we love The Pit. We love The Pit here.
We in The Pit.
Don't get me wrong, I loved Andor as well. But for me, like, the first 3 episodes of Andor season 2 just didn't do it for me. Whereas I feel like the entirety of the Pit is just phenomenal. It's outstanding TV. And I mean, we'll obviously get into it because I know that one other person on this call loved The Pit as well.
What?
You'll never guess
who that was.
To be fair, Lily also really enjoyed it.
Oh, yes. But yeah, I'll really quick. I do want to shout out a video I watched, sort of analyzing the season by this creator, like Stories of Old on YouTube. The guy Tom, he compared the season to the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and specifically the Battle of Helm's Deep, which I know sounds like a wild pull, but when you see it, it does make a lot of sense in terms of like the ebbs and flows of the story and the pacing and everything. Especially with like the mass casualty incident. So highly recommend that video.
Interesting.
If you want to see some like more analysis on the Pit, and it's very well written. So yeah, but I loved it. And also shout out to TV that comes out within, you know, a year of the previous season coming out.
So true.
God, I missed it so much, man. None of this 2 to 3 year wait business.
Excellent choice. This is the point where I admit that I still haven't watched the last episode of The Pit.
You gotta watch the last episode, baby.
I'm sorry. This year I've been very bad with these things, so I'm like, I still haven't seen the last episode of Daredevil. Still haven't watched the last episode of The Pit. I have problems. I'm gonna get to it.
Like, you gotta make a day of like shit you gotta catch up on. Of like things you have to finish.
Yes, I think it's definitely something that I need to do. But I'm gonna give it to Katie to give us her best.
It's The Pit. Obviously.
What? No way.
I mean, I couldn't give it to anything else, truly, because I mean, it took over my life. I had the entire year got derailed on just a full Noah Wiley like direction. I still haven't finished ER, just in case anybody was wondering. I will.
It's a very long
series. I will finish it. I know, but I'm also in the period of it just being not very good. But I am a completionist when it comes to TV, and I will finish it. And I have not done it yet. But like,
did you finish Falling Skies?
No. I got midway through season 2 and then I got distracted by other things. But I'll get back to that as well at some point. I have them on DVD. But yeah, I mean, The Pit came out and I was like, because I had been hankering for like a good medical drama that actually cared about the medicine aspect of it. Because like there are good medical dramas out there that aren't particularly medicine focused, or like they don't really care about making the medicine accurate. And there are things that you can criticize about the realism of The Pit, but it does do the best that we've got on TV at this current point in time.
It's Dr. Mike approved as well.
It's Dr. Mike approved. I spent so much time watching various doctors reacting to various episodes of The Pit, which is very funny and very informative in many ways. Yeah, I mean, it's so well done. I sort of binge watched about 7 episodes and then started watching them from like episode 8, like weekly onwards, which I'm glad of, because episode 8 killed me. It killed me. There was so much crying, and then everything with the mass casualty incident it is phenomenal. And yeah, we've only got a few weeks until season 2 comes out. It comes out January 8th.
Yes.
Crazy time. Anyway, yeah, of course it's The Pit. Why wouldn't it be anything other than The Pit?
Why would it be? Why would it be anything else? That's true. All right. Excellent. Brian, your best.
Yeah, I was actually between Andor and something else. I really liked Andor, but the first 3 episodes were a bit slow, so it's hard for me to give it that fully, but I love the rest of the show. Probably Adolescence. Actually, yeah, I think Adolescence was my favorite show this year. Yeah.
Is it now the time to admit that I still haven't seen the last episode?
Of course, well, I just assumed.
Wait, have you watched? You've watched some of Adolescence, but not the last episode.
I watched 3 episodes, and the 4th one is like
she's like leaving things. Just at the very end.
Oh, I'm obsessed. I was like, I'm not watching. I don't think you can pay me to watch Adolescence. I appreciate that it exists, and I appreciate what it does. It's too much for me. I know that I could watch it from a standpoint of it being like exceptionally made television, like from a technical standpoint. Well, but it's in that like it's a very narrow space for me when it comes to like stuff I just cannot bring myself to invest in. It's too heavy for me. I don't think I'd be able to do it properly.
That's fair. I just thought the acting was tremendous. The writing was tremendous. It really made me think about, I don't know, just recontextualize things and, you know, things that have been concerns for me for a while, just in different ways. And it was also cool to see a fellow Bristol Dick alum, Aaron Doherty, in one of the main leads as the psychoanalyst. I just thought it was tremendous, and it's something that I think about pretty consistently. Because to me, you guys have seen 8th Grade by Bo Burnham, I assume?
Yeah. I love that movie.
It was kind of like that to me. No, you haven't, Iain. Highly recommend it. It's one of those movies where you watch it and it kind of feels like you're just kind of watching real life. It's kind of hard to explain. Like there's no buffer between. It kind of felt like that with this too, with Adolescence, which is both disturbing and also, I think, important. And it also, I did all that for me without coming across as a PSA, which I really appreciated too.
That is a hard line. And honestly, if I'm going to criticize The Pit for anything, it does do the PSA thing a little bit. It does heavy sell on a couple of like issues where they they really want to make sure that people are getting a point across. And I'm like,
I'm gonna be honest. I think if I look at the topic of adolescence and the acting as well, to be completely honest, defending Jacob is much better for me. It's just that one was, if you haven't seen it, Brian, I highly recommend it. And to everyone, it's with Chris Evans. I don't like it because Chris Evans, I know I have an obsession for Chris Evans, but it's not the reason why I like it so much. But it's just simply Jaden Martell is the boy there who's having the same issue as in adolescence, and he is so good in the role that you really can decide by the end what is the truth. You just can't. It's a very, very well made TV show, and it unfortunately went under the radar. It was also a miniseries, so 1 season and that's it.
Thank you. I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Defending Jacob. I like Adolescence, and I very appreciate the filmmaking behind it. But altogether, it was. I think the reason why I didn't watch episode 4 is just because I just kind of knew where it was going anyway. So I felt like it wouldn't give anything extra. So that's why I never finished.
Do you know what happens in episode 4? Sorry to derail this. I can just give you the tagline.
It's with the dead, no? Like it's the dead.
It's the reaction of the family seeing like the aftermath. Yeah.
I would still probably watch it.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Lily,
right.
your turn.
My turn. I'm so happy because honestly, my biggest disappointment this year is it tried to do the exact same thing that my greatest joy of the year did. And it's best of 2025 is it. Welcome to Derry. Without question. Be a fucking Skarsgård as Pennywise. Honestly, like my biggest praise of the entire thing is I said with it and it chapter 2 that their biggest mistake is that they are not using Bill Skarsgård enough. Like they are doing way too much CGI scares. It's too heavy on the CGI. It's too heavy on the let's make it more monstrous and whatnot. But Andy Muschietti took that note, and Bill Skarsgård, the second he shows up, which is a bit late in the season, but the second he shows up, the entire show just skyrocketed itself to the best thing you can watch on TV, basically. And especially the last 2 episodes, the Black Spot and Winterfire. Winterfire just aired, and it was brilliantly done. It's like watching a movie. Basically, it's the production value, the acting. Again, I just can't praise enough. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Everything comes together so beautifully, and it expands the lore of it, and the entire universe that Stephen King created within. Because we all know every Stephen King story connects somehow, and they are finally pulled in more into this world as well. I mean, Shawshank is mentioned in it. So I always thought that it's funny that there's a guy in Shawshank who was like terrorized by a clown. But that's just a thought. The Shine is in here because Dick Halloran from The Shining is a very active part of the entire story. So everything that King created is kind of like coming up here, and it's done so seamlessly that honestly, hats off. Just hats off. And I found out today, which was a big revelation, one of the writers and producers of it, Welcome to Derry, is the original singing voice of Aladdin.
Oh
shit.
Interesting.
There you go.
So I was like, hot damn.
The Disney crossover we never expected.
That's insane.
I'm gonna because I feel like he's written for a lot of like really good stuff.
I'm not sure about that, but I was very surprised when I found out that. Oh, okay. The entire show is just beautifully done. Season 7, Jesus. So episode 7 is it's just the greatest thing that came to TV this year, and it made me bawl my eyes out. Like genuinely fantastic filmmaking altogether. So yeah, for me it's Welcome to Derry.
Cool. I need to see it. I haven't yet watched it, but I'm looking forward.
Highly recommended. It's very, very good.
Brad Kane, who, as you said, is the singing voice of Aladdin, was also an executive producer and a writer on Black Sails. I knew he did something that I also love. So this is a guy who's got some stuff behind him.
There you go. And to think that, he's Oscar performing Brad King because he sang Aladdin at the Oscars and whatnot. So I'm like, oh, what? One of our childhood voices is writing some pretty heavy stuff now, which is insane. All right, it's time for the showdown of the worst of 2025 on TV, and we're gonna start with Katie. What was your worst?
I had trouble with this because I was like, I don't know if I've seen a whole lot of TV this year. That I've not watched a ton of TV this year, generally speaking, and nothing that made me like go, "Oh, this is terrible." So I kind of went back through, and I think again, if we're going to twist it a little bit, disappointing wise, I have put the most recent season of Doctor Who down. Because, I mean, there were parts of it that were great, but that ending was not... it was not it.
Billy Piper popping up?
I mean,
not
like,
even
you
that
know,
bit. It's the bit before
fun
it.
for me in terms of, like, my old nostalgia for it. But, like, just, like, the episode construction... Like those last 2 episodes, there was a lot of interesting stuff in the second to last episode, but the execution of it post that was just a big wet lead balloon, you know? It just kind of went from being like, hey, this was a pretty decent season to, we killed it. It's dead. It's dead and buried and all this other stuff. I'm quite glad to hear that Disney are not making any more Doctor Who. BBC will be. So the Disney part has been taken out, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get back to that good Doctor Who roots. But I say that every time something happens with Doctor Who, and this... let's be real, it probably isn't going to. But as much as there's a part of me that is sort of secretly very excited to see what they do with Billie Piper in Doctor Who stuff, I'm aware of the pandering that is happening with the introduction of her in those last few moments. Everything with Belinda just kind of was not. It was not it. You know, it wasn't it. Which is such a shame, because there was some really good episodes in that season. The follow-up to Midnight that they did was very good. But, like, just the end of the season kind of killed any real spark. Yeah. That's kind of the vibe. Yeah.
Oh, well. That's sad. Well, shit happens, unfortunately. All right. Thineth, your worst.
So this one's going to be maybe my most controversial take. Which is that, guys, I did not fuck with The Last of Us Season 2.
I don't think that's controversial, actually.
I don't think it's controversial.
Oh, okay. God, that was 2025. Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. I thought, so much like FNAF 2, I thought it was just an awful adaptation of the source material. But it's a weird one because, like, if I ignore that stuff, it's honestly not that bad of a season of TV. Like, it's very well made. There's a lot of, love and care that's been put into it, production value-wise. It's very impressive. But as far as, like, the adaptation stuff goes, it's just, I don't know, it really fell apart for me. I thought every change and, like, addition they made to the story just kind of made it weaker. And it felt like, and this is where my actual controversial take comes in, where I think the game is really interesting, and I love what they did with the game and like the writing and the direction of the story. And so to see them take those events and just kind of do a worse version of it was really disappointing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It let me down.
Go on, Iain.
I don't agree with this take at all. I get it. I get why, right? But so it's a hard thing to do an adaptation of The Last of Us Part 2. Because you've spent 12 hours with Joel as Joel, and then you spend another 12 hours with Ellie seething about what happened with Joel, right? So you feel that she is the most angry person in the world because you're the most angry person in the world because they took Joel from you. But it's not, you can't convey that without putting a really bland character in with no ups and downs. It's just rage. You cannot put a rage character in without just looking like a 28 days later zombie. You just can't do it.
I feel like because one of my issues with this season was that the sort of like way they ordered the events specifically with the pacing, because I feel like that's such a core element of the game is the specifically like order of the events in which they take place. Like it's sort of like an unraveling of Ellie's psyche, and I feel like that's where I think the show let me down. is that it's not all rage. It's like rage, and then we get like context, or like bits of context, bits of like flashbacks and PTSD and that sort of thing with Ellie as the game sort of progresses, so that it does sort of fill in those gaps. And like obviously, this is not going to be a discussion about the game because that could be an hour unto itself. But yeah, I feel like for me, one of my issues with the show is that it felt like they were afraid to make Ellie unlikable. So they kind of pulled back a lot from what the game did, in terms of how fucked up she gets.
You liked Ellie in this season because I think they purposely did make her unlikable.
Yeah, I think it was like a watered down version of Ellie in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I feel like they pulled both the punches to make her likable and unlikable. I don't think the game tries to make anyone likable or unlikable, which is why I love the game. I think it's just like, this is probably how people would react, because people do react like this all the time in horrible circumstances. There you go. I feel like with this, they were trying to, I felt maneuvered often, and I didn't like that. And what's also interesting is I know a lot of the feedback for this season was that, Ellie, it felt too, she didn't feel angry enough, right? And something that really struck me, because I replayed the game. I played the second game. It's my favorite game of all time, aside from Ghost of Tsushima. I played that game probably 10 times. Yeah, it's a good game. I was replaying the game along with the show when the episodes were coming out for the second season. And what really struck me was that Ellie isn't just angry; she's just very sad throughout the game, and she's not sad in the show. They kind of resolved that pretty quickly at times. It was very strange. There's moments of sadness, but I think what it makes the Last of Us 2 game so interesting is that there's just a melancholic feeling throughout. There's a very heavy vibe. She's angry in moments. She lashes out. She has her PTSD, the moments of PTSD and the reactions. But she's also just very grim compared to the first game. And I feel like that was just kind of like, I'm going to be a dad, and like, oh, I'm going to put coffee grounds over Joel's like grave. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's very inconsistent. And like, we're bouncing around with different tones, and it feels like, I don't know. And that's how I felt.
I mean, I appreciate different opinions. Like I would already made my peace that that in the first season I wasn't that happy with the first season because it strayed too far from the path. So the second season I'd already made my peace that it's not the game. So I think maybe I came at it as a pure season of TV rather than trying to compare it. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know. With The Last of Us, at the beginning I was very happy with it because we got a lot of infected. And I really missed that from his first season because it felt like that they were just able to walk by everywhere way too easily. And, there was no atmosphere of like, oh, this is a very dangerous thing at all. So they definitely retconned that and made it into a much bigger part of the entire show, which I appreciated. But yeah, by the end of the season, I have to agree that because what I've been waiting for with Ellie is that they're gonna do it in a way where it's like at the beginning she's like, I'm okay, I'm fine, you don't have to worry about me, and then the rage basically builds up, and at the end we get the fully just the whole Ellie rage that comes out, and all the sadness and sorrow and whatever, even the last punch of her killing Mel, and it was pulled back. It was pulled back way too heavily, and I was like, yeah, shit. Well, I guess that wrong in the end because that was not what I expecting from it at all. Like I definitely was waiting for the big like, and this is where it all just comes out, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen.
What's just to throw in something really quickly? What's funny, I do love that scene with Mel at the very end of the last episode. They somehow made that scene worse and better. I found they pulled Ellie back in her intentions of not trying to kill Mel, which I didn't like. But then that scene where she like cut it out, I'm like, oh, this is phenomenal. Or that bit in that scene. So it was like a weird like hodgepodge. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this.
That's how I felt throughout. Where like there were some interesting ideas, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it also kind of makes the story worse.
Right.
And it was a very interesting push and pull throughout the season. I don't know.
Really, I have to say that I really hated that they changed why Ellie or how Ellie finds out that Joel lied.
Yeah.
With the whole, side story there with the husband being bitten and Joel not keeping the promise. And I'm like,
I thought it was weak. Yeah, I thought it was very jump. Yeah.
I mean, it did feel like a little bit more organic, I think, than her just like fucking off all the way back to Utah.
Okay.
Like I feel like that would have been a little bit silly. So I can kind of see why they did it that way. But again, like a lot of my issues, it was kind of interesting and it kind of worked, but it also kind of didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Probably, hopefully, in season 3, they're gonna find the balance a lot more. I'm very much looking forward to Abby because I still think that Caitlin Dever is like the perfect choice for Abby. She's so good already that I'm very much looking forward to seeing her a lot more. Awesome, Iain. What is your worst for 2025?
I haven't watched a lot of bad TV this time because I usually nope out after a couple of episodes if it's real bad. But I'd say that the one I've been most disappointed in was Wednesday season 2.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It was kind of bad. Like, it wasn't bad, but like everything felt lesser than the first season. They keep the villain, which I thought was just like really annoying. They bring back a couple of villains and then just discard them straight away. Pugsley's not good. I know he's his first acting role, but he's not. It's not good. And the zombie.
Yeah, who is this?
Pugsley.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's all Tim Burton special effects, but it also looked like cheap Tim Burton special effects as well.
Yeah.
The practical effects, great. I'm trying to use them, but like when you see Christopher Lloyd's head in a jar, there's not. No, sorry, just no. It was just kind of meh. The whole season. It was definitely not as good as the first season.
Yeah. Also, I haven't finished it. But that was like I knew I'm not gonna because I just didn't enjoy it at all. I think I watched it up till like episode 3 and I was like, I don't care. Now the only thing that I really wanted to see Lady Gaga, which I didn't at the end because I know she appears in the last episode, I think. But the only thing that piqued my interest a little bit is that Ava Green is coming in for the next season and she's very good. But I still probably won't watch it, to be honest, because it was just not good.
Yep.
Yeah, she's the only reason why I'd want to see the next season because my favorite TV show of all time is Dreadful, and she's phenomenal. So, but yeah.
Oh yeah, she's the best. She's honestly the best. Brian, did I ask you what was your worst of 2025? No, I didn't.
And
your turn.
I was going between kind of like what you were saying, Iain, about between like whether it's something that's disappointing or just bad, and I think this time I'm just going to pick something that was bad. I thought a lot of the acting was really good. Actually, I know some of the actors in the show and they were phenomenal. I thought The Hunting Wives on Netflix was really, really dismal. What the
hell is this?
This is super niche. It was like a US thing. It like became like a big like national like watch back a couple months ago in like August or September. And it was really, really not good and no likable characters. Again, acting was good. Aside from that, I'd probably have to go with The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, so it's between those. For disappointment, I was just bummed about how it was adapted. Yeah.
So. Fair enough. Hunting Wives. Jesus.
Yeah, it might be fun if you're drinking. A lot of my friends watched it and they drank and they said it was more enjoyable. But yeah.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe that's how the show works.
Could be.
Okay, interesting. All right,
Lily,
for The Last of Us. It's
Lily.
Me.
What was your worst TV show of 2025?
Oh boy, it's so easy. It was so bad. I'm still cringing. It's Alien Earth. It's not only disappointing, it's just bad TV altogether, especially by the end. It's like fuck you guys kind of thing. Yeah, it started off good. That's the most annoying part about it, because I genuinely think the first 2 episodes was very promising of like, okay, interesting. I think they kind of get the assignment, but then already in episode 2, there were a few things where I was like, huh? What? But I still had hope. And then I proceeded to keep watching it. And honestly, they just made all the things that I hate when people touch franchises that they shouldn't touch at all. The apex predator, the one that, you know, everyone who saw the first time, the second time, the third time, everyone just shitting their pants because you don't know what this life form is. But here, once again, everyone sees this creature and everyone is like, okay, scary for 1 second, and then they're back to being badasses. And the fact that they made them into pets at the end is the most annoying and most idiotic thing that I've ever seen anyone do, because the entire point of the Alien franchise is that Weyland Yutani is trying to get the xenomorphs, and every time they just don't learn the lesson that these creatures are not something that they can tame. It's not something that they can just get their hands on and it's going to work for them like a good old puppy. And then here comes Alien Earth, and they're going to do the exact thing that Weyland Yutani was unable to do for so long. And the fact that it plays before the first Alien movie, when it's supposedly Ripley and the Nostromo who makes first contact with the aliens and the xenomorphs, it's just insanely dumb. And they made these super children who are closed into these Peter Pan Wonderland shit, and I'm like, fuck. By the end, it wasn't even about the xenomorph. It was about the other different creatures. It was about these kids who apparently some of them have superpowers or whatever. And I was just sitting there. I remember watching the last episode, and I was just speeding through, and I was like, no, oh my god, no, Jesus fucking Christ, what the hell? And that's how I watched the last episode. And the last scene, I was genuinely
you didn't
so
finish it
off.
then, so you can't have an opinion on this, isn't it? Is that what you're saying?
I still watched it, but it wasn't speed. It wasn't speed. I was like, I'm not sitting through this the entirety. And the sad part is that they had very good actors. One of them was Timothy Olyphant, who's fucking Rain, and you know, it really started off very promising, and they just fucked it up. Which I kind of knew that they're gonna fuck it up, because the entire thing just doesn't make sense. Putting Alien on Earth before the Nostromo, it still doesn't make sense. They never justified why this exists before the events of the original movie. Still, like, we don't know why this exists before the original movie. It's just a whole big ass shit show. It's honestly, I know season 2 is coming. They confirmed it. I will definitely not watch it, because this was torture. And it's very sad, because the Alien franchise is one of my favorite franchises of all time. So what Welcome to Derry did perfectly, which is treating the material as it should be and understanding the material that they are working with. Alien Earth just completely dropped the ball on the entire thing, just like Jurassic World. Just like Jurassic World.
I'm going to say something.
Yes,
I'm going to say something controversial, Lily.
Yes.
And you need to promise that you're not going to overreact, right? Please.
Please try to not overreact.
Okay. I don't think Alien is one of your favorite franchises. I think Alien and Aliens are 2 of your favorite films, and then you hate everything else about Alien.
That's not true, because I like 3 and 4 as well.
Well, that's only half of it.
Yeah, that's the original run, aka the best run.
So it's not the franchise. So you only like the Sigourney Weaver arc.
But mate, that's a bit like saying like, oh, you don't like Lord of the Rings because you hate the Hobbit movies. You know, I mean, it's like
or like Terminator.
It's a bit reductive, isn't it? Slightly.
Yeah, I love Terminator. Do you like all of Terminator? No, but
Oh,
I like if you said I like Terminator, right? Would you
hmm.
say that you like over half of the Terminator movies, or would you say it's like you like the first two?
I
That's
I would say I haven't seen any of the Terminator movies.
yeah, okay. Look, I don't disagree that it's got its problems. Would I have liked this series as a limited series where everybody got just owned by the alien? Yes, I would. Do Disney like money? Yes, they fucking do. So it was always going to be a second series. It does have its problems. I just enjoyed myself throughout, and and you. I think some of the things in terms of the timeline and the chronology, they haven't justified themselves yet. But I still don't. I'd like them to justify themselves, but I don't think it's necessarily a problem that they haven't yet. I don't think because it can still work within the universe. And I know you disagree with me with that, and that's fine. We can have that disagreement. But I still enjoy myself with this. I think it's actually really good TV if you're watching it through that lens of TV and not through I love Sigourney Weaver Alien.
I mean, but that's the original.
Yeah.
That's what
I still
made
love
this whole
Sigourney
thing
Weaver
possible.
Alien, but I
And
don't
then
think
how can you like this one?
because I don't believe that Sigourney Weaver's Alien is the height that Alien franchise can get to. I think it's a really
Of course it
good.
is.
Well, that means what's the point in watching anything more? Because everything will be lesser than.
Because what they don't understand, and that's what I'm constantly saying about Jurassic Park, Alien, it, everything, is what they don't understand is they always want more. They always think that the basics that they have, aka the dinosaurs, the xenomorphs, Pennywise, whatever, is not enough. But that's not true. I mean, they can put spins on it. I don't have a problem with that. And they can, they can try to form a new story around it. Like Prometheus would have been fun if they made it in a way where it wasn't an afterthought that this should be about Alien actually, an Alien origin story. But it was an afterthought because Ridley Scott is a fucking idiot. But it's like when you establish things and you establish the xenomorphs as the apex predator, as something that is like, this is something that we never encountered and whatever. And then you just try to make bigger and better and more advanced things and put it on top of it. You kind of kill your own thing, the thing that made your movie into what it is.
I have such a problem with the premise that an engineer haulage company is and Sigourney Weaver's Ripley is the be all and end all for what they've encountered in this galaxy. They haven't, as in like Ripley has not seen Alien, a xenomorph before, and he didn't. It's not a xenomorph, is it? Because like it's just a alien. But she works for a haulage company. Why would she have seen anything bigger or worse or even stranger than that? She's been to Earth and some other planets where they do haulage.
I'm not talking about different kind of aliens. I like the eye creature and whatnot. I'm talking about when they are trying to make the xenomorph into something more. Like they did in Romulus, like they did in the fourth Alien movie at the end. It's like, we don't need that. The franchise doesn't need it.
Yeah, I don't really disagree with that.
So, I have a problem with this very specifically. And I have a problem when you change your core xenomorph. Well, here they made them into pets, something that was very early established that you can't do. That's the entire point of the first four movies.
It's not the point of the first four movies. It's the point is that they're trying to make them into weapons in the first four movies. But this could have been the reason why they think it's possible. Because it's already been done. I'm just saying there's mental gymnastics to get through But you can explain a lot of stuff away if you're willing to, but you're not willing to, and that's fine. It's just fine. And we have a different opinion on it.
If you want to watch how we fought, you can go Couch Soup and watch all the Alien Earth episodes that I was in, because we butted heads in both times that I graced the screens.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I took over the podcast again.
It's okay.
No,
it's
you're
okay.
fine.
It's okay.
I haven't seen it, so I have no dog in this fight at all.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
You're not losing out on much. Anyway.
It's fun.
It's not.
No, but...
Toss a coin, guys. Toss a coin. Come on.
Toss a coin. Anyway, this was the best and the worst of 2025. And this was us for this year. So next year, we're going to be back. We're probably going to start of the year with a similar setup if everyone is in, and maybe even more people. And we're going to make a list of what we are looking forward to in 2026, just like we always do. And until then, first of all, thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Thineth, Iain, and Brian for coming on the show. It's always fun to geek out with you all. And then, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Go watch movies, go watch TV, and subscribe to us, and leave your best and worst in the comments, because it's always fun to read what people think and what else is there that we might not have thought about while we put together our little picks. We're gonna say goodbye in Katie's name as well. She went to the cinema. That's why she disappeared. But anyway, thank you again for joining, and see you all next year. Bye.
See you next year. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Cut the check. 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 Now cut the check. Cut the check. That's it. Cut the check. We're done. Cut the check. Oh, that was good. Cut the check. Oh, yeah.